Hey there, StarCraft fans. It's Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Today, Falcon's a bit under the weather, but he's a lot better than he was for the last week. Bottom left, it's going to be KoC, our Zerg player, and in the top right, going to be myself, our Blue Protoss. This is a patron game that myself sent to me. He's a $10 a month patron, which gives him the right to send me any replay once a month. And I will cast it, no questions asked, and he always sends me excellent replays. So, let's see what makes this one excellent. Whew. So probe scouting, maybe hatch blocking this probe. We got Paladin the probe moving out. Doo-doo, 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 doo-doo. Aha, sees, no hatch. Gas opening. Here from KoC. What the heck? Gas into pool. Sure. Like a 17 pool there. Don't know. It was a little bit late, that's for sure. So myself's timings, if his are better, then he's going to be ahead here. Absolutely. But this is why you scout, right? Is it a pool first? Is it a gas pool? Is it a hatch first? These things tell you important information you need to know to defeat a Zerg player. How much do we have to defend in situations like this? The answer is probably quite a bit, because the gas pool indicates speedlings are on the way, and as a Zerg player, you're like, I got scouted, crap, and you're very sad about it. But then you throw down an expansion anyway. My gosh, a minute 30 on the expand. Ooh, and the fake cannon rush. Oh, myself is like, hey, come down here. Bring some drones down. Try to stop this from happening. I'm not sure that KoC sees this, actually. He's staring at his base. He's looking down here, and he's like, ah! And he sees they get canceled, and he's like, oh. Is that a... Is that something I should be worried about? Well, my lings are out now. Go check it. Ling. Oh, by that I mean don't check it, lings, and he does. Okay. Like, am I being cannon rushed? Yeah, I think myself... That strategy works a little bit better on someone who has better map awareness, like his own base, too, because I don't think he saw that until you canceled them, which is funny. It's a good attempt, myself. I like it quite a bit, but yeah, that was hilarious. So fine. Lings are out. He is not getting speed. KoC is struggling a bit here. He doesn't have a clear plan of what he's trying to do, or if he does, the presence of that probe and those pylons really ruined any concentration that he had on the plan, because he's still not getting metabolic boost. There is no reason to go extractor pool if you're not getting speed. There's just not. Okay, I lied. You can go extractor pool if you're trying to go for like a roach rush. But instead, we're getting a second gas. We're getting a macro hatch. And myself is just like, well, I'm ready. I've got a zealot out. I'm waiting for those lings to show up and try to kill me. I'm working on charge, because charge is really good against Zerglings. Yeah, KoC is just off script here, man. He's spreading creep for the first time today. That's nice. He's just... I mean, the only good news for KoC is that myself isn't expanding. If myself had expanded at this point, he'd be in a world of wonderful, wonderful feelings and positive vibes, because he'd be so far ahead. But he's just so worried about whatever this kind of 1-2 base play is from our guy KoC, that he's just kind of walled up, hurdled up here in his own base. He's getting double forge for upgrades. I don't know, a War Prism would be cool. Maybe go for like some kind of a charge lot all-in against this dude who is finally getting metabolic boost and is getting a Baneling Nest. So, okay. I mean, you gotta get something besides lings. And Banelings are going to be the tech of choice. Banelings are good at the lower leagues. Banelings are really good at the higher leagues. Dude, there's just a huge list of stuff in StarCraft that is amazing at the pro leagues, and somehow even better at the lower leagues. And Banelings are one of those things. Because to deal with Banelings, you got to split. You got to run away. You got to do all sorts of tricky stuff. And Banelings, you just got to go, right? Right. Oh, boy. Spines, huh? Okay. Well, once again, the saving grace for KoC and his terrible build is that myself hasn't expanded yet. So, at this stage, what seems like myself is going for a 3-forge 1-1-1 charge lot timing, which Sure, I like upgrades. Again, I like charge lots in a situation where the Zerg player is not really leaning on roaches at all. He's got a Baneling nest, but not like he's making any Banelings. Charge lots with upgrades are especially good against Hydras too. So, yeah, I mean, it's oversaturating this main base. Myself is so afraid. Myself, it's okay. This is why you scout. This is why you send something across the map to be like, what is the Zerg player doing? Oh, they have a spine at the front. And oh, they don't have anything, but all right. Can these zealots just win? It's 24-8 army supply. The guy's getting a lurker den. He doesn't have any banelings, but he's working on centrifugal hooks. I think he just dies right here. I really don't see how KoC handles this. Okay, well, he's producing 2 Hydras. The Spine Crawler doesn't kill anything. His worker count is getting decimated. Not actually killing the workers. Quick, more spies. Quick, says KoC. I think myself just has this thing. 2048 army supply, go up the ramp. Yes, there's nothing up here. He's trying to build spines. Yeah, at this point, I'd just fight the drones. Just brutalize the economy here. I guess he's also trying to target the spine. He doesn't like what he sees. He killed all the queens. All the queens are dead. The Hydras are out. I don't know if this is a retreat position at all. I guess 3 spines popped, and there's a couple Hydras here. And the natural base is gone for KoC, but overall, I think KoC should be dead. But myself expanded behind it. That's definitely a positive. He's working on additional upgrades for his really, really well upgraded zealots here. And KoC is too afraid to re-expand. He's got the money for it. There we go. Not too afraid anymore. He's like, I need a second base. That's happening. So yeah, some drones died. What, 12 drones died. 7 zealots went down. The natural base is a ghost town. Maybe add some Archons into the mix here. Zealot Archon is a pretty nice complementary combination of units at this level for sure. But once again, our list of things that are easier to deal with, well, hard to deal with everywhere, is lurkers. So if KoC just makes a couple lurkers here, and myself is just not interested in building any kind of detection, which he hasn't been thus far. He doesn't have a robo. He doesn't have a Stargate. He has nothing that can shoot up. He has no cannons. Like a Spire tech switch from KoC would really just win the game here. In a really sad way for myself, actually. So like a Spire goes down. You build, what, 7, 8 mutas. You wander over here. Everything dies. All the probes die. All the pylons die. You can't build any cannons because, well, I guess you could warp in some stalkers in the defensive situation right there. That would be nice. Stalkers are pretty good against Mutalisks. Not the best, but pretty good. So, 2 base to 2 base. Gas saturation is something of a, there we go, something of a priority for both these players. Going back in with Zealots, do we actually have Banelings this time? No. It's going to be 2 Lurkers and 3 Hydralisks. So here's where the Lurkers, those Lurkers are doing some serious damage to that line of Zealots there. Yeah, so he backs it out. Oh, there's a Spire and there's a Nidus network. KoC's got those wheels turning. I like it. And then a robo for myself because he's like, oh, right. Detection. Detection would be a good thing to have against Lurkers. Agreed. Oh, the Nidus play, though. Okay. All right. So we Nidus Lurkers into the main base of the Protoss. And they just quit out of absolute frustration. Third base coming in from myself, KoC. Not interested in any kind of a third base at all. KoC just reminds me of Kevin O'Connor, who's an NBA sports writer and podcaster. Every time I see it, I'm like, KoC, but like nobody here knows who that is. You guys are not sports ball fans generally. So I'm just going to keep that to myself. Resonating Glaze coming in. Okay. I mean, Adept Zealot against Lurkers, not super hot. What you really want against lurkers is going to be immortals in this situation. Immortals do very well against lurkers. Bonus damage versus armored, good range. You want to avoid walking into a place where multiple lurkers are hitting your immortals at once like this. Like, wait till the lurkers move out, kind of concave them, right? Concaving is just generally a good idea anyway. But, I mean, you've got the robo, so there you go. Immortal production, it's already on the way. Excellent. Very, very good news. All right, so there's this Nidus, right? And there's nothing in the Nidus, and there's really nowhere the Nidus could be thrown. I guess you could, I mean, it'd be cool if you could Nidus here. That'd be hilarious. Inaccessible. So army value 47 to 45. Pretty even. Again, this is a game where I think the Zealots, if they bypass killing this natural and just come up here and start wrecking, they win. But they kind of bought time for this little circle of life, spine crawler forest thing to happen. Timings matter. Decision making, quick decision making, it matters a lot. It's the mutas. It is. So KoC says, all right, fine. You're just going to keep making Zealots at me, and Immortals at me, and Adepts at me. I'm going to make Mutalisks, and you're going to have a bad time. Actually. Ooh. So, I mean, at this point, there's got to be something in myself's brain that's like, I need some anti-air. And he just did warp in some stalkers. Okay. It's like, I need something that can shoot up, just in case. Just emergency shooting up units. Finally, KoC starts at third base at the 6 o'clock at 11:30. A little bit late, but you know, getting a third base is better than not getting a third base, as my grandma always used to say. Right. Oh, Disruptor play too. Okay, good. So again, Disruptors don't shoot up, but fine. Disruptors are pretty good against lurkers as well. Mutas are like sharks. If they're not moving, they're basically dead. The mutas need to be moving around, harassing, scouting, getting into the main base of the enemy, picking off some probes, picking off a lot of probes maybe. Checking to see if your opponent has a fourth base they're warping in. I don't know. But mutas that are just kind of sitting at home are not doing what they need to do. Mutas are terrible in direct engagements most of the time, so having them sit at home in a defensive position is bad. This observer can see them, so at this point myself is like, oh, production tab does not indicate we're aware of these mutas. Another round of stalkers just warped in, so yeah. That's fair. 65 to 53 total workers in favor of myself. He's got 4 bases to the 3 bases of the Zerg. The Zerg player has not been playing particularly well today. He's got a bunch of 1/1 banelings, though, and wings, and maybe he could really wreck some stuff at this third nexus of myself. I think that would be a great idea. +2 flyer attack. Wow, really investing in this Mutalisk stuff, huh? +2 flyer attack for the 8 mutas that he has. No more mutas are in production, which indicates to me that he's really investing in something that he's not making a lot of, which is not usually how this works. So moving out, got 108 to 68 army supply. The Protoss army has got 3-3-3 across the board. So this 1-1 mishmash of stuff. Nothing is +2, except almost this flyer attack. And it's like, okay, so if we can handle these mutas with these stalkers, we should be fine. The fire is burning bright. Is this just it? Like, I really don't know what a good engagement here for KoC is. Yeah, lurker down, lurker down, lurker down. Maybe a couple zealots got bruised up there. Nothing incredible. This third base of KoC dies. That's it. Ooh, okay. No, don't try to kill it. Okay, well, they killed the Nexus. That was like 47 banelings. Continue on your march. But starving is pretty good, too. Yeah, just warp in some stuff at home. You got Colossus back here. You're fine. 126 to 50 RV supply. Myself is setting up for yet another massive engagement. Come on. The mutas haven't moved. It's crazy. Oh, they moved. They try to get the disruptor, and then the +3 mutas were like, nah, 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 nah. No. And then some Protoss units get dragged up into this meat grinder death situation where there's a million lurkers. Ling's on the counterattack up here, but it gets 3-3 Zealots where they're just 1-1 without Adrenal. That's not happening. He's trying to disruptor his way through this, and I don't know. It's okay. Bring the obs in. Put it in oversight mode for extra visual detection range. Myself replacing his third. He's got stalkers in the main base. Worried about getting Nidus, which again, this Nidus network has never had anything in it. So I'd be worried about Niduses too, but I don't know, man. I'm not sure if myself has decided that keeping the Zerg player on 2 bases is good enough, but a secret third base exists in the bottom right. Come on, scout it. Visual acuity. Information is power. In all aspects of life. Now, this is myself basically being like, lurkers are OP. That's what he's telling himself right now. He's like, I can't get up that ramp. Lurkers are too good. It's like, I think you can kind of just force your way up there. There's 3 lurkers. Like, I really don't think 3 lurkers and 4 spines can wipe out the entire army of 3-3 Stalker, Zealot, Immortals, too. Especially with a few disruptor shots. Like, you come up, you get the vision on the lurkers, bam, bam, bam. 2 disruptors, bam. I think you're good. Oh, he did try to Nidus. Look at KoC try to Nidus. Again, oh no, he did put some lurkers in the Nidus. He's got, wow, he's got 7 lurkers and 2 hiders in there. Good man, KoC. Thinking about using the Nidus in a really good way. Replacing his third base. He's just Nidusing top left. As a Zerg player, I know this feel. You're like, well, I tried to Nidus where I wanted to, and the Protoss player immediately discovered it and shut it down. So I'm just going to throw up a Nidus somewhere else on the map. That really has no real strategic value. But it will make the Protoss player pee his pants. And that's good. And then maybe I can walk them somewhere and get some work done. It turns out, yeah, that was awesome. Yeah, this is a lot of lurkers. So if you could engage into this many lurkers, which you don't want to, okay. Never mind. Yeah, this is a lot, man. Oh, that's beautiful. That's exactly right. 2 Novas take down a lurker, or, 2 lurkers if they're in the same place. Ling's on the right side of myself attempting a 5th base. That's getting shut down, too. So, I don't know. KoC with the power of lurker, like I said, better at the lower leagues than they are at the higher leagues. Could really, really ruin someone's day. Yeah, that engagement was a little rough, but he got it. He saved the Nexus. These Lings all died after wiping out that Nexus on the right side, but this one's still alive. KoC's 3rd base is up. His 4th base has still been running this whole time. I mean, not the whole time, but yeah. He's doing great. KoC gets lurkers out, and everything's bad for myself all over the place. Which, yeah, that's how this works. Five Mutalisks more in production. Okay, so it's going to be 16. 16 mutas versus 21 stalkers. A 1-to-1 ratio of muta to stalker is not great for the mutas, especially if they only have a +3 flyer. No, oh, they do have flyer carapace. Oh, 3-1's pretty good. It's not 3-3-3, but it's admirable. I'm going to stay by this fire in this cold, snowy, wintry climate. So we got Colossus now. We brought those with us. 145 to 57 army supply. It's got a hefty amount of stalkers. We're just going to try to deathball this thing. Yeah, he hasn't made any lurker since the ones that he put into the Nidus, exited the Nidus, and lost them all. So at this point, I think your best bet would be killing these two expansions, starving the Zerg player out, make him do a terrible engagement. Oh, these mutas are just going to buy time. They're going to buy some time. Man, +3 mutas. That damage output is no joke. Ah, we're going. Okay, never mind. Myself is like, screw it. Let's go. And he easily crushes his way up that ramp. The natural base dies for the second time today. Got Lings into this 4th base from myself. Got mutas in the main base, causing all sorts of havoc. But the natural base is dead. KoC, he could... These bases still exist. Myself doesn't know about it, though. So I guess we're base racing with mutas? Ah, Archons. There we go. Archons are going to eat these mutalisks if they engage. The thing is, Archons are fat and slow, so you don't have to engage with them if you are a mutalisk. But at this level, sometimes that happens anyway. Main base of KoC is in utter shambles. Main base of myself is largely depowered and dead. Not entirely so. And I like that he's sending Hydras and mutas over this way too. This is great. He's done pretty good at sending off smaller bits of army to cause havoc. Myself's largely kind of deathballed this thing today, which is kind of the Protoss way of doing things. He's going to supply block KoC into next week. 68 available supply of 102 out on the map. Yeah, probes are dying all over the place. He's going to recall all of it to deal with that. Well, I don't know, some of it to deal with that. So main base, only some creep tubers. Remain. Now he's like, oh, why didn't I win? Maybe he retook his 3rd? I don't know, man. Where are those Archons at, though? The Archons didn't die. Are they over here? Oh, they're here. Sure, I guess. Mutas, don't engage with those Archons. Don't do it. You're doing awesome. You're doing fantastic. You've got 2 bases mining. You could... Oh, you've got a new lurker den. Okay, good. Good. I mean, he's got to make a Hydralisk den, too. But he's got a lurker den and a spawning pool. Positive. Mutas. K getting blinked on. That always hurts. That means a couple of your mutas are going to... Archons! Archons. I don't know about this. Myself basically has 1 base mining, 18 total workers to 42 from KoC. And he's doing great. He's not fighting the stalkers with the mutas. The zealots are like, well, there's got to be a base down here, right? And there was a base down here. Can you mutas kill us all? All these mutas are stuck behind. Maybe all of the mutas could have killed you, but instead he's got to flock this way. Sure, man, you got a pylon. Way to go. No. He stopped controlling them. No! He stopped controlling the mutas for just a second. And most of them died. The zealots are wiping out. His lurker den is done. He's got this base mining. He has no tech structures whatsoever. This Zerg player is in a lot of trouble. Another pylon down. Myself is not supply blocked. He's still got production facilities. He's still got tech. He's still able to do what he wants to do. It's 142 to 24 army supply. The mutas are not being controlled again. Oh, and that's a GG. KoC, Kevin O'Connor, taps out in a very unorthodox ZVP. This is stuff we don't see a lot, right? Muta tech switch, charge lot play, Archons out there. I mean, we see the pieces, but this particular way of playing ZVP doesn't make any sense. So that's fun. That's why I like these patron games. We get weird stuff out of it. That was It made me laugh. It made me laugh, and that's the whole point. That was woof. Way to go. Way to win that one myself. It was a bit of a sticky game for you to play. I still think you could have won with the Zealots and main base at the 10-minute mark, but better safe than sorry. I want to expand a bunch. Ended up losing 61 probes, which is massive, but killed 68 drones and 5 hatcheries and a hive, so made up for that more than anything else. The lurkers, problematic, but definitely dealt with those in the end very ably. 16 lurkers down. The mutas were handled too. I thought the mutas were doing great until the Zerg player stopped controlling them and running away from stuff that could kill them. But lost 4 nexuses too. That's brutal. So yeah, largely Zealots and Stalkers went down today. But there were some Colossus made some Adepts. Some Disruptors. The Disruptors never went down. Those were really important to the game here too. And yeah, overall, unorthodox plays from both of you. Really weird opening from KoC, but he's got a pretty decent grasp on the game. And the mutas were an inspired choice, and the mutas did a lot of work. But at the end of the day, just couldn't handle the Zealots mostly. And couldn't really control mutas in 2 parts of the map at the same time. So, that'll do. All right. Fantastic. That was great. That was really, really, really fun win. And that's going to be it from me. So, this has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void and a Patreon cast. Go ahead and hit that like button. Hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.
The path of ascension is before us. Our honor guides us.